Hi folks, G3 here and welcome to another instalment of my journey to go green. I'm joined today by Mrs. G3. We're going to be setting up some seeds in our hydroponic system so that we can have some nice salads over winter. This system that I'm using is a Vaxa system which we bought from IKEA 3 or 4 years ago at least. We've used it for some time now, and the system that we got was a container with some holes in ready for us to set the seeds to start. A system here where we actually grow the plants once they've grown to a certain size, and it contains loads of little baskets that rest in a bed of water with nutrients. So the roots are in there, the plants will grow up and we can pick the leaves from there. It has an easy entry system on here to pour the water in, and a mechanism to let us know when we need to add more water. What we've got here are a load of starter plugs that are made out of a rock wool kind of substance. Now these aren't the ones that we initially got from IKEA because we used all of those up. So these are some that I managed to source on the internet because unfortunately IKEA don't have their hydroponics equipment available for home delivery. You can only get it in store. And so this is the starter kit that we use initially. So loads of little holes in here where you'd put the plugs of the starter plugs with the seeds on, and that sits in a rather dirty at the moment, so we'll give that a clean tray where we put a load of water initially, and that will soak up through the plugs and the seeds will start germinating. And what we use to kick all of that off is this hydroponic setup here. Let me demonstrate to you how this bit works, and you might be able to see that there is a slightly different colour against the white if I move that around. So the lighting system in here has a range of white and red lights. So that gives the correct frequencies of light to help the plants grow efficiently. It's what it needs to help it. So we are going to be setting up the initial starter thing in here, and what we need to do to start off with is to fill the base up to, there's got a line on it, a max line, and we've got to fill it up with lukewarm tap water. So let's get started. Good stuff. The next step that we need to do is to soak the starter plugs. We've got 8 separate containers, and I like to put a couple of these in each of those so we've got a nice spread of plants growing in those. So it means we need 16 plugs. So we're going to pop 16 plugs in the water so that they can soak for a couple of minutes and get fully soaked.
I'll hold it.
Thanks. 4, 16. Good. So those need to soak for a couple of minutes, and then they'll be ready. So in the meantime, let's have a look at some of the seeds we've got. You want to take us through what we've got?
Speedy veg, leaf salad.
So just a range of leafy salads. So let's see, it's a spicy oriental mix. Tangy, tasty salads apparently.
Next one, my favorite, watercress.
Yeah, no, I thought that needed to grow in running water. But we managed to successfully grow it in this last time. It was really nice, quite peppery, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Good taste to it, good flavour. So that goes well in the salad. That was just the same again, was it?
Quite identical to that one.
Well, no, it is actually slightly different. That one is a spicy oriental mix, and this is just standard lettuce mix. So it's a range of different leaves in here with some nice sort of variety and different colours on that one as well.
And these are Thai basil.
Yeah, so that's nice. Obviously we use a lot of Thai herbs when we can in the various cooking, and having some fresh Thai basil goes down very well. Kind of a sort of aniseedy taste. Aniseed, would you say?
Lemony.
Lemony, you'd describe it as. It's a nice flavour to have in there, and we can grow it quite successfully in here.
Next is coriander seeds.
Coriander seeds. Now these are quite big seeds. So what we'll need to do with these is we'll have to soak them for 24 hours before we put them on there. So we'll put it directly in water for 24 hours so that the hard shells start breaking down a bit, and then they'll be more effective when we put them on the plugs.
Super hardy.
Ah, yes, we got these last year, didn't we? The Sarah Raven ones. So Super Hardy Winter Salad Leaf Mix. Now this is a range of Cornutsuna, Rocket Serrata, Green Mizuna and Mustard Red Lace. So there's some really nice flavours in amongst those leaves.
Lemon basil.
Ah, yes, lemon basil. Really noticeable when this was in the salad, wasn't it? It was a lovely flavour to it. So that was great when that was in there. Brilliant. And the final one, Red Veined Sorrel. Do you remember this one?
No.
A beautiful edible salad leaf. It's best eaten small or tiny or the baby leaf stage. And that was quite a nice one to have in there. So
Is it the one that got oval shape?
I think so. Yeah, I believe so.
I like that one.
So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different varieties, which is good because we've got 8 different bays that we're going to be using in there. The next step for us to take is we need to take the nursery top with the round holes and place the pre-soaked starter plugs into the holes. So this is the nursery top. You see there's an awful lot of holes in here, way more than the number of bays that we've got there. But what we'll do is sort of space them out. We'll keep the same seeds together, but we'll space these out so that we've got an idea as to what they are. We're pushing these down so that the bottom is coming into contact with the water. So let's just turn that over. And we can see that it's just poking out through the bottom of here. So that's going to be drawing up water from here to keep it moist so that the seeds are in that moist environment. Let's look at 2. That's fine. So now this is going to go on top. So that's in position. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is putting some seeds on. The coriander seeds we've got in some water already because these are quite thick seeds. So we're going to leave that soaking for 24 hours before we put those on. But the other seeds we can start popping on. And these are the oriental mix of the salad leaves. Now the seeds don't last forever, and these are due to be sown by 2023. The longer you have them, the less chance that they're going to be effective at germinating, but these are still within the time. So we've got lots of little small seeds here. So we've got quite a few tiny ones there for this one. And I'm just making sure that they sit nicely on that sponge. Because these are small salad ones, we can fit quite a few on this plug. I think that's enough of those. So that's the oriental salad seeds. Right, do you want to do some leaf lettuce on the next one?
Sure. How I'm doing?
That's looking good. Yeah, there's quite a selection of different seeds there, aren't there? So you can definitely see there's different plants going to be coming there.
Is it too much?
No, that's fine on there. Maybe a few more on this one. And then we get a nice selection just to make sure. Better to have too many than too little. It's definitely one thing that we've learned. If you only have a few seeds on there, you don't get much of a harvest. Whereas if you've got a lot, it'll be really bushy and have a huge selection.
Oh, this doesn't have longer shelf.
Oh, the shelf life?
By 2022.
Yeah.
Shorter than the previous one.
Yeah, but still within range. Right now, so we've got the Super Hardy Winter Salad. So you can do that on that side. And I'm going to do some red veined sorrel on this side. It will be great to have these growing again. It's been a little while since we've had a crop from here, and it was absolutely fantastic during the summer, as well as having the leaves from outside, having a nice selection from in here as well.
Yeah.
That we could pick and choose, because I mean they grow at different times, don't they? So we would harvest this one quite extensively, and then have some from outside, and then we could come back and have more from here. But this is especially good over winter, when obviously you don't have availability from outside of salad leaves. Then it's great being able to help ourselves from fresh salad in here.
I do really miss salad.
Well,
Especially when the hot day.
But I mean, it's nice if you've got a meal that just needs a little something to accompany it.
You feel healthy when you got salad company on
Yeah.
the dish.
Yeah.
Am I doing okay, love?
Oh yeah, that's great. It's really good. Do you want to do watercress?
Sure.
It's great when you see these starting to germinate. It's interesting seeing the first ones come. You get the little white roots starting to show.
I'm amazed with the size of the watercress seeds.
They're tiny.
So tiny.
Yeah.
Smallest I ever seen.
And yet they were quite big plants that came out of them, weren't they?
Yeah.
They're quite, they sort of go everywhere. So, did you want to finish off with the Thai basil? What's the, 22, that's fine. And then we can put the coriander on the back on that one once it's had its 24-hour soak.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thai basil.
Yeah.
I remember Thai basil seeds. They are quite big, oval shape, and black. Quite similar to sesame seeds. You know,
Okay.
sesame seed, black sesame seed in most of Japanese food,
Okay.
especially sushi.
Okay, so the seeds when they're growing need 16 hours of light per day as a minimum. Now what I do, I've got a timer on the light here, so I can set it to come on automatically at a certain time and go off at a certain time. So I think I had it going from 8 in the morning until 10 at night. And it says within 5 to 7 days the seedlings will have 2 open leaves. For some plants like coriander and parsley, it might take a little longer for the leaves to grow. When they've got 2 open leaves, that's when we're going to be transplanting them into the other pots, and we'll cover that next. So let's see how these are going to grow over the next couple of days, and we'll follow that progress. Coriander are going on here, so they've had 24 hours of soaking, which will break through the shell of the seed a bit to help it have a head start. Here we go. So that's the coriander seeds that have been added in, and we can now see them progress as well. Okay, we'll come back to this in a few days when we've got a little bit more activity. The seeds have now been growing for 3 days. These are the oriental leaf salads. And we've got mixed leaf salad. Nothing yet from the red vein sorrel. The winter leaf is growing well. No progress from the basil yet, just the moisture around the seeds. There's a bit of movement on the watercress. I can see that they've started germinating. Again, the Thai basil, there's nothing of note there. And the coriander, nothing coming through there just yet. So that's pretty good progress after 3 days. And here we are coming up to a week. So there's the oriental leaf salad that's growing quite nicely. The mixed leaf is also growing nicely. Not a lot of action on the red vein sorrel as yet. There's a little bit of germination there. The winter leaf is really growing well, and we can see a mixture of colours there. The watercress is also starting to grow nicely. The basil is starting to germinate and grow. So that's the lemon basil. We've got the Thai basil at the back that is also starting to germinate. We can see some bits coming out there. And finally we got some germination on the coriander as well. So that's just taken a little bit longer than the other seeds, but that's getting there. It's now 2 weeks since we planted these seeds, and they're all growing very well. We possibly should have planted them up a little bit sooner, but this is the first opportunity we've had. So this next stage is where we're going to transfer the seeds into their permanent place of residence. Now we've got all of these individual little pots that we're going to pot up, and they're exposed at the bottom, and they will sit in a bed of water that is rich in nutrients, and the plant seeds themselves are just going to be sitting in perlite. So this is an inert material that is basically just going to allow the water to soak up through and for the roots to go down into the water to get the nutrients from there.
Where did you get this perlite from?
Oh, this wasn't the original thing that I got from IKEA because that all ran out. So this one we sourced on the internet. I can't remember the site. I'll add the link down below if I manage to find it. This is just a 10-litre bag of perlite.
How much is it?
I think we probably paid about £5 maybe. I'll be guessing a little bit there.
Compared to compost, which is the best way to grow.
Well, you can't use the compost in here.
Yeah.
I mean, the compost is. I mean, this is probably dearer for the size of the bag, but it's a completely different material. And ordinarily, this can be used within compost to provide extra gaps in the soil to give a bit of extra aeration. But in this, it's purely for the growing medium for them to grow in. Yeah, that's lasted well. We haven't used much of this already. We've done one batch of these, and it doesn't use up much. So we're going to be using this as the growing medium in the trays. We're going to be topping it up with the water, and the water is going to have some of this Vaxa fertiliser. The proportions, it's 1 capful to every 6 litres of water. So what I do, I use 1/6 of the cap and use this and fill this up with water, and 1/6 of this cap. And that gives the right strength of nutrients for these to grow in. So what we're going to do now is for me to bring the seeds over, and we're going to start putting them into these pots. Right. So we've got our perlite, and the way that we're going to do that is we're going to position the 2 of these in the pot and get some perlite mixed in around it. So ordinarily you could just have the 1 in here, but we're a little bit greedy and want lots of plants, so we're going to use 2, and it worked last time we did it, didn't we? We had lots of leaves coming out with the 2 in there, so it's worth doing. So I will show you what I'm going to do with this. I will do
Thai basil?
I'll do the lemon one, so you can do the Thai one. I think that's quite appropriate then. So I'm just going to put a little bit in the bottom here for it to sit on and get the right height. So I take this out, and we can see here that we got some roots coming out of the bottom of the lemon basil there. And I just want to check the height on here, and that should kind of just sit about the surface there. So that's the sort of height we're looking for there. And so I'm going to put both of these in. Oh, this one's got longer roots. You can see those a little bit better there. And so I'm just going to gently pop those in, and then put a little bit of this mixture around the outside. So there we go. So we've got it near the surface, and we've got the 2 plugs embedded in there. Their roots are gently mixed in amongst here. This will be submerged below the water line, so the roots will have access to those nutrients, and they will grow nicely.
I did it differently from you because I aimed to the corner.
Yeah, that's fine. And this will settle down once it's bedded into the water, and it won't take long for it to soak through and the plants to start getting the nutrients up through the roots.
This is my first experience of using this, so kind of messy.
It's fine. It doesn't matter, does it? I mean, it's just something for them to grow out of, and they seem to be fine.
Next.
Nicely bedded in. So we say that those are going to be fairly tall. Looks like these oriental leaf and the winter leaves are quite tall as well. So perhaps we can put those on these next ones, do you think?
Yep.
So the winter leaf and the leaf oriental, they're growing really nicely. They got some good.
Oh, long roots.
Yeah, brilliant roots. And if I just hold this one nearer, you can see there's quite a nice bit of different leaf definition there. There you go. And I'm doing these winter leaves. Oh wow! Look at the size of those. Massive roots. Gently pop those in so they don't get damaged. It will be fantastic to get these bedded in and growing, because there's nothing better than having your own salad leaves, just to be able to pick a little bit to go alongside a meal. Really nice and fresh, and we've got some that are lovely peppery flavoured, different ones there. It's just a fantastic addition.
I know it's a stupid question, what's the perlite made of?
Oh. As it was important, I've had a quick check on Google to find out a little bit more about the perlite. it is a natural substance that comes from, it's a volcanic rock, the lava, and it's sort of like almost like a glass-like substance from that. So although it doesn't decompose at the end of its use, it is a natural thing that can just go back into the ecosystem because it is basically rock. So it's perfectly fine to use. But good question, and I didn't know the answer. You do that one, and I'll grab the coriander. Some good healthy roots again. Really good. Another good one. And see how these coriander ones are doing. We're not sure how coriander is going to do, whether it will cope with being water based. I mean, there's only one way to find out, but we're not sure. These ones have germinated and the roots have gone down okay, so there's promise, and we do like our coriander, gets well used in cooking, so it's worth trying.
Lots of people say, oh, coriander is just for the garnish, put it on top of the meal, but I do really love the smell and the infusion of it.
The whole food smells fresh and gives it a lot
Very
of life.
Very aromatic smell. Love it.
Yeah, that looks really healthy, all of that salad, doesn't it? There we go, that one's also bedded in nicely, and that is the coriander, so that's going to go there. Thank you, Time. So you do the watercress because it's going to go there, and I'll do the red vein sorrel, and that's going to go there. Now with this one, we can see a little bit of red coming there, and that will be very pronounced as they grow. They'll have that lovely rich sort of burgundy kind of colour in there. The watercress was really nice last time. Wasn't sure how it was going to go because it's not running water, but it coped well and we got a reasonable amount off it. It did get a bit straggly towards the end, but initially there was got a good crop off it, and it was a nice, again, peppery taste to it. So you might not have done it before, but you're a natural. It's not a hard job to do, this, making the hydroponic system. It's relatively straightforward to get it all set up. Now, it's nice and light because we don't have the water in it yet, but we'll put this in the tray that we've got here. So that sits in there with the water spout to the front. The next step is to top up the water with the fertiliser. So it was 1 cap to 6 litres, so we're going to do 1/6 of a cap.
Where did you get this from?
Oh, this was from IKEA. It was part of the set that we got originally. So this is Vaxa. Again, it's not available to purchase online. They only have these things available in store, which is unfortunate. But you can get alternatives online from other hydroponic shops. There are a few around.
What's the formula for these?
Oh,
like potassium?
I'm not sure.
Nutrition?
It will be on the inside of the label. I think it will give a little bit more of a breakdown in there. It's a solution of NPK fertilisers in the 5:3:8 ratio. So 5:3:8.
You're still confused about K and P.
Yeah, I never remember which one it is, even though I studied chemistry and failed at A level. Yeah, potassium is how I try and remember it. So there we go, we've got that mixed in. Just give it a little bit of a zhuzh around to mix that up. And the next stage is we're going to pour it into this spout. It will take more than one of these bottles in here. So I'm just pouring that in, and as we do, there is a little float that will be coming up here to signify the water level, and that is going up whilst I'm pouring that in.
That's a litre of water, isn't it? This bottle.
Yeah, it's exactly a litre in there. Right, some more water, and let's give it another 1/6 of a cap.
1/6 of a cap.
Yeah.
Okay. Very rich then.
Yes, it's nutrient rich, and this is all that it needs to grow healthy plants that are very successful, just on this little bit mix of the NPK. And as we can see here, the float has come up to the max level at the bottom, so we know there's enough of the liquid feed in there for the plants. And we've got a minimum mark at the top, and then down the bottom we've got a little maximum mark in red. And when it drops down fully to there, because all of the other liquid from the reservoir has been used, we'll top it back up using the funnel.
You've got to wash your hand thoroughly after touching this stuff.
Yeah. Yes, we'll be washing our hands thoroughly, and of course children would need supervision with this because these are chemicals, they are fertilizer, so needs to be
accompanied with the parents.
Yes, needs to be done by an adult. For ease, you can take out the funnel so that you don't have that in the way. So you've got more room for the seeds to grow, so that just easily slots out there, and then you've got better room there. So this is an easy setup of the hydroponics. You can see it was very straightforward, didn't take us long to do for setting up initially, to putting the seeds in place, and then when they got to sort of a reasonable size, we've transplanted them over. Why not give it a go yourself? It's very easy to do, and you don't necessarily need one of these setups to try it. It's easy enough to do things like cress in a little bit of water, wet paper towel, and just to grow those seeds and get a little bit of extra salad going. But we found this really good. We've had it for some time, didn't cost us a huge amount, and we're getting lots of use out of it. Here we are with about another 10 days growth. We can see that the watercress has grown and it's stretching a reasonable distance there. We've got the red vein sorrel, it's quite a clump here, so we're going to have to thin that out a little bit. The coriander is doing okay here, that's good. We weren't sure how well that would do, but that's growing okay. Spreading quite a bit. Some nice colour there, some purple and green, some different bits there. Oh yeah, the oriental leaf salad is over there. So there's some nice bits of salad leaf there. And one thing that I noticed that you can just make out on the back on this machine here, you can just see the red and white line reflecting from the light. So that shows you a little bit better how the light, you've got the different coloured lights in there, and that just shows you that it's the red and white, and you can see it a bit better. We can see, if I come back around here, that the float is getting down towards the minimum level, so I'll be topping that up shortly. I'll put the funnel back in and top this up and make sure it's going okay. So that's taken, I think it's about 10 days it's taken to get down to that level. So they've drawn out quite a bit of water, but then they have been growing quite nicely. So that's the progress. We can start harvesting some of this and eating some salad, which is lovely. So if you enjoyed this, folks, don't forget to click the like button down below. That lets YouTube know that you enjoyed it, and it will help share this video with other people. And if you haven't done so already, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can click the subscribe button down below, and also click the bell icon so that you get notified when I load up a new video. Well, thanks for watching, folks. Until next time, bye.